All right, it's been a long time since I've made a video. Sorry about that, guys, but I kind of didn't realize how long it's been until today, and then I can't find my tripod. So I think I might have left it in Florida when we went to Florida, but here is, I think it's a 99 or a 2000 Chevy extended cab I'm doing for a friend of mine. He got it from down south. Apparently it used to have hail damage because they drilled a bunch of holes in there to get the dents out of the roof. Sandblasted the floorboard because it needed it, and then I stripped the rockers down, and I went over the bottom of this thing with my sandblaster, just gave it a real quick, just to kind of scuff it so I don't have to sit there and scuff all of this by hand. We got some dents pulled out of the rockers. They had dropped it, so like here is a little goofed up, pulled that out. And right here you can kind of see. But now I went to go do the roof. I tried using this thing. It was taking forever. I tried a DA with 36 grit, and it was taking too long. So I got some aircraft paint remover. So this is what I'm using. It's been a long time since I've used this stuff. I forgot how potent it is. Make sure you guys do this in a well-ventilated area. I should have had the cab turned around so that when I have the fan on, it's not pulling it all towards me. But that'll put some hair on your chest. The plan is we're gonna obviously do the whole thing from the bottom up. So once I get this all stripped, once I get the roof stripped, then I'm gonna epoxy the roof, and then we're gonna epoxy all of this, the inside, and paint it black. I'm gonna epoxy it and then go through and kind of retouch up some of the seam sealer. It's got some cracks in it, so I like getting some epoxy down first because it gets into the nooks and crannies a little better than the seam sealer does. Sorry about the noise, I had to turn the fan on. This stuff is just too strong. I just apply it with a brush. They put a piece of cardboard down on the ground because once it starts working and you kind of scrape the stuff off, then you get it on like your garage floor, it'll strip the paint off your garage floor, and it just makes a mess. It's a lot easier to just scrape it onto some cardboard and then throw it away. Whew. Oh, it does burn a little bit when you breathe it in, but here you can see it starting to work. Some of it is going to need an extra coat. I don't know if it's showing up on the camera, but some spots are kind of drying up. You want to put it on nice and thick. And like I said, don't use a $15 paintbrush because it'll eat the bristles. It's already starting to eat the bristles, so just use some cheap brush. And then it takes a few minutes for it to kick in, and just kind of coat it again, and don't just sit and wait for it. Have something else to do, because sometimes it can take a half hour for it to work. And I'll show you guys what it looks like once it's done. So here's what it looks like after it's been doing its thing. And then you can just take a putty knife and just scrape it off. Some of it will need another coat, but a good chunk of it will all come off. So here's what it looks like done. I had this all stripped, epoxied it, epoxied the floor, ran some new seam sealer in here too, and then did the floor, touched up some seam sealer in a few spots. We got a couple coats on. I wasn't really too picky about it looking nice. I just wanted it on thick. So I turned my air pressure way down and just mounted it, and we got two thick coats, and then we got 2 coats on the floor pans, so we don't have to worry about it rusting. And we seam sealed, did another coat over there, just touched up a couple spots of seam sealer, and this should last a long time now. Here is what I used on the floor. This is what they wanted me to use. So you got your gallon, your activator, and your reducer. 1 ounce of activator for every 16 ounces of product, and then it reduces up to 20%. So 16 ounces, and then 1 ounce gives you 7 ounces. So what is that? 17 times 2 is what, 34? So I just did 3 ounces of reducer. And I mixed those separate in this cup, because these cups, I went up to I did 16, but there really is no 17 because it's only even numbers. So then I did 1 ounce of activator, and then I did 2 ounces of reducer, or 3 ounces of reducer, sorry. And it took 1 to do 1 coat on the bottom. For the first coat. Your first coat always takes the most, especially if you're trying to mound it up thick like we are, or like I was. You can only go so thick because you don't want solvent pop. But what was it? I think I ended up, all said and done, I think it was, I had to mix it up 3 or 4 times. So that kind of gives you guys an idea. Until next time, take care.